Es buena la cervecita para el que está desvelado, para el que está desvelado. Es buena la cervecita, yo prefiero un tequilita, que es lo mejor para el hinchado, que es lo mejor para el hinchado.
Órale, güey, lo vamos a dar en español, este show del boxeo. Yo soy José el Gallo y estoy aquí con Tommy the Genie. Estás escuchando Loaded Gloves. Estamos en el estudio en Manhattan, en Nueva York, güey, porque somos los mejores, los neoyorquinos, güey. What did I say, Tommy the Genie? Gracias, Knucklehead Nation.
I have no clue.
That's my co-host, Tommy the Genie. No habla español el gringo. Gringo malo. Hey, gringo malo, can you hear me? Gringo malo.
Yes, I'm here.
Bad gringo. You bad boy. Bad gringo. I'm sick of my co-host trying to hold me down.
Okay, yeah, Jefe.
Jefe, do you know I'm not as good looking or as smart as you, but I have to tell you something, Knucklehead Nation. There's a big boxing card coming up. And Oscar Valdez, baby, is on the card.
Oh, boy. That's your wet dream. El Gallo's wet dream.
You have Oscar Valdez.
His pound for pound.
El Zurdo
Is he your
Ramirez.
favorite fighter right now?
Oscar Valdez is...
I think he is.
Lomachenko is my favorite.
I remember years ago when you used to like this guy. His name was Rigondeaux, and even you don't like him anymore.
Guillermo Rigondeaux. So Saturday, April 22nd at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, you have Los Mexicanos, Los Mejores, Oscar Valdez versus Miguel Mariaga. Mexico versus Colombia. You have Zurdo Ramirez versus Bucarax. You have Shakur Stevenson, the debut.
Yes.
And you have the man who beat the man, Nonito Donaire, Jessie Magdaleno, baby. Tough kid. I love his style.
Nice kid, too.
I love this card on April 22nd. And Knucklehead Nation, let's go, baby. Let's talk about this card. Tommy the Genie, tell me about Oscar Valdez versus Miguel Mariaga.
That's your guy. You love Valdez. I think Mariaga has a chance.
Okay.
I like Mariaga.
That would be depressing.
Mariaga's a long puncher, strong guy, but I don't think he has a chance at all, actually. Valdez is a beast. I've been watching all of his training videos.
Yeah.
It's scary. He trained for 3 hours, then he did 4 hours of press, and then he did more training at night. And I'm like, my God, this kid's scary. I don't think he's a complete fighter yet, but he's as close as you can get right now at that age.
Listen, check out our fight.
I think all the guys that me and you like at those other weight classes, like Frampton and stuff, they should run.
I think so, too. I'm actually positive they should run.
It's a great card in the sense we love these fighters. They are all fighting, not really, I'm not going to say nobodies, but no one's a nobody. But I would have been nice being that it's pay-per-view, and these people have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, we're going to buy it.
I mean, that's just the 4 named fights. There probably is more guys we know on the card. It's a tough night, though, because I want to watch it, but will I be at Porter Berto?
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Like, that's the problem. We might not be able to see it.
Yeah, you know what I can do is I can get it on my phone, and we can put it up on the TV in the suite.
Okay. But that night is also like... That night also is that fight. It's this fantastic card that we're about to go over. Then you got Rocky Fielding, Gabe Rosado, Martin Murray fighting in England.
That's a good fight. I actually wrote that down and talked about that.
And then you got your boy.
The white Mike Tyson, baby.
Yes.
Kurt Side has got an interim.
Kurtitze.
The white Mike Tyson is a boxing god, baby. What he did to that prosperous Antoine Douglas was unbelievable. He's fighting Tommy Langford for an interim WBO belt. So that means... our boy, the white Mike Tyson, the man, the spawn of the boxing gods, will be fighting, will be a world champ, and then he's going to take Billy Joe Saunders' belt. And you know the white Mike Tyson will get in the ring with Triple G.
He'll fight anybody. He's nuts. His training videos scare me. They make him run inside of a steam room that's 110 degrees. Then he was running outside, and they were throwing snow on him. And then he was running back in again. Then he was running outside, sliding bare-chested on ice on the ground. I'm like, and you guys want to have people train differently and can beat you and don't feel pain? That's how you do it.
So
he's an animal, man. He's an animal.
I love him. I love him to death.
He just stood in the pocket and just kept throwing punches, and he destroyed that kid. He crushed that kid's soul. Like, it wasn't just beating him. He beat the life out of him in front of the kid's family. That was Showtime was in awe because that was this kid that they're pushing. Like, that was like their guy. But unlike the other network, who we haven't actually mentioned in a while.
I was just thinking that right now, how much I hate Jim Lampley.
We haven't mentioned the other network in a while. Showtime then at least said, well, now we're behind Krasinski. A fantastic job. HBO would have been like, did we get an inferior product tonight? They would have found some reason to blame the guy that they're pushing for losing, like him being sick, his gerbil, had diarrhea, and he couldn't stay home to feed him, and like some stupid reason where at least Showtime, with their unbiased. I watched Showtime last night, and listen, those fights were horrible.
Yeah,
except for one of them, but their commentating is so neutral. It's so educational.
My favorite's Ring TV.
Yeah, I love those guys, too. I like the way they bring the fighter out next to them, too. But the Showtime guys are just so, like, respectful of the sport.
Yep.
Where HBO's just respectful of themselves. Like, they're just self-promoting.
I know.
Jerk-offs.
You're a bunch of liars. HBO is fake news.
It is. They're fake news.
Fake boxing news.
That's a big thing right now. Hashtag fake news.
Hashtag... Let's tweet this out.
By the way, Joey now knows a year later what a hashtag is.
A pound sign. I didn't get what a pound sign was.
A year ago, he didn't know what a hashtag was.
We're gonna tweet this to HBO. All right?
They don't ever answer me.
So let's tweet hashtag HBO fake boxing news.
From now on, we're going to do that. Every time we talk about, we're going to call them fake news. That's because that's all HBO is. They're self-promoting the fight game with Prairie Dog Lampley. Just promotes guys that they want to promote.
Lampley's a fraud.
Roy Jones shamelessly tried to plug. What was his name again? Who's the guy?
Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, my, he's from Pennsylvania.
What was his name again? Morgan Fitch.
Yes. That was the talk about fake news when Triple G won his fight against Willie Monroe, was it?
No, it was after that. It was Dominic Wade.
Wade. They asked Roy Jones Jr., who can beat Triple G? And he happens to be training this guy, Morgan Fitch.
During the fight, he was saying, I think the only guy that could really hang with this guy is Morgan Fitch. And Lampley's like, who? Oh.
Listen, Jim Lampley, you are a fraud, okay? You're a prairie dog. You're a fraud. Jim Lampley, you are spewing fake boxing news to the boxing casuals, okay? This is a news. This is an alert to all the casual boxing fans. Jim Lampley is a fraud. Wake up. Stay woke, boxing casuals. Stay woke. Send a tweet every day to Jim Lampley telling him he's a fraud. He's a fraud. That would not fly in England, okay? Jim Lampley would not be able to get away with that in England. He's a fraud. HBO is fake. It's
Except for Letterman. Letterman's honest, and then they try to shut him down.
Letterman.
Yeah, but they try to shut him down. Letterman will be like, I can't stand this guy. And they'll be like, Harold, go sit in your seats. Like, it's like horrible.
Unbelievable. They got Bubblehead Kellerman. Fake news. HBO's fake news. Listen, check out our Loaded Gloves Facebook page, facebook.com/The Loaded Gloves. We've got the fight poster up for the April 22nd fight. Oscar Valdez, Mariaga, Gilberto Ramirez. He's got the hand problems. He's back, though. And you got Magdaleno.
The first ever Mexican super middleweight champion? That was Zurdo, right? Yep,
yeah.
First ever super middleweight.
Great card. Great.
And Shakur's a great kid, too, man. Shakur is a great kid that didn't get lured. But listen, see, now I would have changed my mind. Like, I was back then saying, please don't sign with TMT. And I was happy he went with Top Rank. But you know what? Floyd's doing the right thing. If he would have signed with Floyd, I would have been mad. But either way, I'm happy he didn't go like some of the other guys, like Rock Nation. But I'm excited for Shakur. I know Shakur's people around him, too. I talk to them all the time on Twitter. They're just good. He's got good people around him. He's going to go somewhere, man. That kid's real. He got fast hands.
From Newark, too.
He's like Devin Haney, that kid that I got behind that made his debut on that Golden Boy card. Those kids can throw hands. These new kids coming up are lightning fast,
Lightning
man.
strong. And by the way, you know
Gervonta, those kids can throw down, man. Floyd signed some great guys, man.
I got to tell you, too, you mentioned something. Everyone in the featherweight division, 126, should run from Oscar Valdez. I got to tell you right now, I don't see anyone there.
Mikey.
No, Mikey Garcia is heavier, man. Mikey Garcia is 135.
But I'm talking like, those weight classes can always intertwine. I could see Valdez is young. He'll be at 135.
He will be, but Mikey will be up to...
No, Mikey wants to stay there. He doesn't like 140 because there's no one there.
So Mikey Garcia's got to be fighting Flanagan next.
He's fighting somebody.
Because Linares is fighting Corolla. And then you got Robert Easter, who's good.
Well, yeah, I like
and you
him
got
too.
Kami.
I like the way because Easter's the only guy in that weight. Well, Kami, man. Robert Easter's the only guy in that weight class that fights long and tall instead of compact and powerful. I like Easter. That's such a great fun weight classes down there. They don't fight each other. They don't pull Angel Garcia garbage. They're good people. They like go out and drink together after the fights. It's so Carl Frampton and Santa Cruz are like madly in love with each other. Mm-hmm. They should date soon. It's crazy. You know, Frampton after the fight in the ring was like, yeah, he won. He won. Good
At least
call.
he did that when Santa Cruz never lost.
Santa Cruz cries, yeah, I know. But Frampton was like, yeah, he won. I thought he won. That was a good call. Meanwhile, you watch these other fights, like, you know, like I said, once again, we'll reference the demon of Angel Garcia. You know, Danny Garcia could have his head taken off, and he'd be like, that's not what happened. You know, they drugged him. His water. Like, it's stupid. Goodbye, Danny. It's been good watching
you. You know what we
dodge
need
people.
is a third person in the studio with us.
To do what?
Just to do, like, updates and give us, like, check things, you know.
Who's paying them?
Univision.
Hey.
But they're not paying us, but they can pay them.
That would be nice. We need a girl. We need female updates.
I'm on the Top Rank website now.
We
Andy
need a girl
Benson's.
to be like, let's go to this update. There's really no updates, though. We're the ones doing the updates.
I know. It's crazy. You know, I was trying to think of something. Speaking of Kurtzside.
Oh, Quigley fights him, too. For some reason, that just crossed my mind.
You know, we have our top 10 loaded gloves fighters, and it moves. People move in and out. Belu's in the top 10. Kurtzidze is in the top 10.
Murat
Gassiev.
Usyk.
Lomachenko.
To me, Frampton's still always going to be in my top 10.
Yeah, because of what he did for us that night. I mean, then you have...
Tyson Fury's retired.
He's in our all-time top 10. He's got to be.
Yes. We have ahead of him up on the wall, a bust of Tyson Fury.
And then you have Roman always be in my top 10. But, you know, we have a lot of freaks in our top 10, but...
Yeah, like, Wang Hang's in our top 10.
Wang Hang,
I'm not retired.
To me, is Hall of Fame. He's number one.
I'm not Hall of Fame.
Our favorite
Knockout
fighter of all
CP
time.
Freshmart just moved in.
Knockout.
Knockout.
I mean,
love him.
It's funny. I wonder if you know. It's amazing talking to real boxing fans because we can actually have a conversation with them, like about Shinsuke Yamanaka or Wang Hang.
I love Shinsuke Yamanaka. That's my guy right now. I'm still the one saying Inoue is going to beat Roman, but
I think. Listen, I love Roman.
Roman's been getting tagged.
I love Roman Gonzalez. He's probably after Amnat. He's my favorite of all time.
But he was invincible when we saw him at the Garden, and his last, he hasn't looked invincible. He looks amazing, and maybe he is invincible, but maybe he's that guy that his face was puffy.
Yep.
He got tagged up. But like that Mexican card, though, like it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
But me personally, like, I don't know about you. Here you go. Here's a question: if you were going to do a card right now, you're going to be a promoter, El Gallo Promotions.
Some Promotions hat.
Would you, if you had to assemble a card right now of 3 fights, who would you put in those? Now, obviously, you can't have 3 mains. Like, who would be the nice setup fight, a nice main, and then maybe a co-main? If you had to do 3.
Okay.
Put them together. Fantasy perfect fights right now, like Spence against this guy. Who would you do?
Okay.
Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux?
No. Here's what I would do. But you got one of them. So, and I'm going to give a nice mix.
So who would be
this is a good question.
Who would be your three fights? Who would be your undercard?
Okay, so
the first fight.
The first fight I would have, and I'm going to spread it through divisions. I would have Lomachenko rematch against
Salido,
Orlando CD Salido. That'll get the fans going.
That's like a main event, though.
Nah, but, I mean it's my dream card.
All right.
Okay, so I have those 2 fighting, right? Then I have on the undercard of that, I'll
give you 2 mains, co-main.
I have Roman
against
Inoue.
Okay.
All right.
That would be one of mine, yes.
Yeah, that's a co-main.
And who would be the one that you wanted to see right now, the fight that you would go, that you would fly there? Like, even if it was in, like, like Tibet, and you had to go.
Tibet.
Yes. If you wanted to see a fight that would just knock your socks off, your main event.
I would have to go.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I would have to go. It's got to be competitive.
I know what I would want my main event to be.
I'd have to go.
Mine's Triple G Canelo.
Okay, so I was going to say Triple G Canelo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
It has to be
It
that.
has to be. That's the biggest fight in boxing.
Mine would
that fight
be.
has to be made.
My first fight would be.
Oscar reference.
My first fight would be. I want a Frampton Quigg rematch.
Wow.
I think Quigg deserves
Wow,
it. I think
wow,
Quigg
wow.
deserves it. And I
He
want.
didn't punch. He didn't come to fight.
And then I want.
This is too boxing. You see, you're not appealing to the casuals with that fight.
Okay, so I'll do a casual triple play card. Here's a casual
No, come
card.
on. Out of your top three. You got to have
My
your,
top three,
Okay.
I would have.
No, that's your warm-up fight. That's
No.
okay.
My undercard would be Kovalev against Joe Smith Jr.
Good fight. Good.
Because I don't
fight.
like Andre Ward. Just because I don't like him.
That's a good one.
Kovalev against Joe Smith Jr. That's my undercard. Then my co-main would be Mickey Rourke. No, not Mickey. No, Joshua against Wilder, because it's going to happen and I want to see it.
That's
and
a
then
good
my
one.
main, like I already said, it has to be Triple G Canelo.
That fight has to be made.
It has to happen.
Oscar De La Hoya, ready? That fight has to be made.
Yeah, then he throws up because he's drunk.
Has to be made. That fight has to be made.
He's a drunk.
That was a good question. I got to hand it to you there, Jeannie. You really came out with a good question.
I like
there.
Oscar.
He's a character, man.
Do you
He's
agree, though,
nuts.
that this is what some Floyd said yesterday? Do you think Floyd, he probably was right. Floyd thinks he was the B-side of De La Hoya. Did you see that fight?
Yeah, he was the B-side.
Floyd was the B-side? Because Floyd already had a belt.
Oscar was a beast, though, back in the day, man.
I know.
He sold the most pay-per-views before Floyd.
And, of course, Oscar had the California judge give him the decision in that fight. Even though he lost 8 straight rounds. Listen, in the first 4 rounds, I thought Floyd was going to lose. But then he lost 8 because Floyd has this thing where he feels you out.
Yeah.
And then, for 8 rounds, Oscar barely landed a punch. And some judge, some Californian gave it to Oscar.
Boxing's so screwed up with the
It's so
judging.
crazy. Well,
crazy.
perfect example on the other side is Floyd lost a couple of fights in his career. But you know what? I ain't knocking him anymore, man. If you don't like him because of his personality, you don't like him. But he's good for the sport. He's not Don King. He's putting good guys together that are going for belts at age 22. He's not carrying guys like Oscar would, little baby Canelo when he's Canelo, and then he carries Canelo around and keeps him in like a little stroller and cherry picks title fights, man.
So it's funny you say this right now.
164. By the way, Chavez Jr., knock him out, please.
Oh, I hope Chavez wins.
God, when is that?
I hope he wins.
When is that fight?
Cinco de Mayo.
God bless
Cinco de
you.
Mayo.
Chavez, I hope the boxing gods and your dad are behind you in that fight.
Funny
man.
you just mentioned that. We just got done bashing HBO.
What
I
happened?
just got an update on my phone,
Yes.
right?
From that porn site again? No.
About the they just posted a new video with the Jacobs Triple G. This is a 24/7 full show. No, they just posted one right now. I just got an update. But I went back and read all the. Hold on a second. I gotta pay something for you. I gotta play something.
Are you playing weird clips for me again? Is it going to be Oscar?
Okay, so I found this guy. You can pay him $5 something. He'll say something for us.
What am I looking at? It looks like Jesus.
Yeah.
He looks like Jesus.
You can pay
dancing.
him and he'll say, like, loaded gloves. You should tune in. Thank you, Knucklehead Nation.
How's it going, bros? It's Jesus Christ.
I don't think our fans would like that. They're very religious.
You can pay him and he'll like. But anyway, so here's my thing. I hate to say
it's
this.
funny, but I don't think they'd like him.
I hate to see this.
What?
I hate to say this, but I've been watching Floyd's old fights. He's amazing.
He's the best ever.
'Cause I don't
know
like
if he's the best ever.
No,
but
no. Oh, my
but-
God. Please get off the money team.
I'm on the train, bro.
Oh, my God.
come and ride the train.
Tommy,
I love the floor.
Tommy like has this money team outfit, and when no one's around, he puts it on.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's see here.
No talk of the Floyd thing, though, with Connor.
I wonder who...
And I'm not hiring Jesus as a spokesperson.
I don't know, man. I got to tell you. I think this year, there was a lot of hype. The best boxing year ever.
17 looks great, man.
It looks good, but I'm like, I think a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things. You're going to a lot of the same old.
Well, you already had the Pacquiao fight fall out on you.
Right.
So I don't care about Manny Pacquiao. With his I love him. Like, he's one of my top 5 favorite fighters of all time, but he's never going to fight anybody that's good enough to beat him. Like, he's not anymore. Not anymore. Like, he's not. Vargas, we knew he wasn't going to beat Pacquiao.
I know.
Bradley's good, but Bradley's another one. Bradley just seems like he sits around waiting for Pacquiao fights. And that where is he? Where you at, Bradley? Where's he at?
Yeah.
Where's he at? He's not even that. Like, you don't even see. You know what I don't like about Bradley?
He made a lot of money.
But what I don't even like about Bradley,
a lot of money.
You don't see him at other fights.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, when you go watch cards, like when we were at the fight last weekend, you had Easter and Broner and all these guys sitting there. You don't see Bradley anywhere. You don't see him in the audience. He's not a fan of the sport. You don't see, you don't see Kid Chocolate, who now says he's training again to fight.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where's he at all the time? He's never in the crowd. I mean, he's at the local fights in New York, but you don't see him anywhere. To me, if you're a fan, where's Canelo at? He never shows up anywhere either. Chavez Jr. shows up at every fight at the Belasco Theater, and he shows up there. He's in there. You go to New York, there's always boxers ringside. Any fight in New York at any venue, Liam Neeson and boxers show up.
Listen,
I'm obsessed with Liam Neeson.
Triple G
and Rosie
is
shows
unhealthy.
up. Rosie.
Oh, Rosie. The Loaded Gloves boxing queen. Listen.
We have to do a song again.
Triple G Jacobs.
Yeah.
MSG, the stars are going to show up for that in New York. You know that.
Absolutely.
It is going to be incredible.
Absolutely.
Listen, I think...
And then I'll be at Danny's funeral a week later. But that's...
that place is going to be on fire. That place is going to be awesome.
Yeah, but
it's going to be out of control.
But I think more people show up in New York in general, celebrity-wise, than they show up in California.
Yeah.
I really do.
And Vegas.
Yeah, I'd like to see another fight in Texas at that Cowboys stadium.
Maybe Triple G Canelo.
I liked that card. I did not like Beefy Smith being the main event.
Yeah.
But
here's what I don't understand, too, about Triple G.
I think he landed. By the way, last night there was a fight, just for statistical reasons, where guy went 0 for 55 in jabs in the whole fight. All the boxers were tweeting about it last night, saying, we just watched a match where a guy went 0 for 55. It was the guy that won the fight right before Clarissa Shields. And he...
Williams?
No, it was... No. He fought Williams. The guy that fought Williams, the guy that won.
he was like a football player.
He was 0 for 55 on jabs.
That was an ugly fight.
You should not be throwing jabs after number 20 at that point. That's like throwing a fastball and hitting a guy 20 times.
At least he tried.
I guess. But even Shakur tweeted about it. He's like, I just saw a guy throw 0 for 55. It's crazy. You're not playing Major League Baseball if in your first 55 at bats you get 0 hits.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
That was funny. What the hell?
Props to Clarissa Shields, even though Joey doesn't like that.
There's no competition in that female weight class. There's no competition.
There's not deep enough in any female weight class. I think that might be the problem. It sounded like Showtime was going to talk about that, but they got away from it because they were the ones that made her the main event. I'll tell you what, the crowd was there for her.
Yeah, I saw that.
The crowd was there for her. She filled that place, and that was her crowd. The crowd watched the other 3 fights like I watched the other 3 fights, half asleep. But the first fight was good. But I know you don't like this. You feel...
It's
tough. That 9 out of 10 fights that she'll have are against people who are probably also like working other jobs.
Yeah.
And not really fine. And yes, as you go heavier in the women's weight classes, it gets thinner. And like if you go into the lighter weights, in Mexico alone, there'll be 100 in one weight class. They have some fantastic Zelina Munoz. They have some great fighters. Seniesa Estrada at all the smaller weight classes. But you're right. At 140, 150, 160 with the women, that's big chicks, man. That's like...
Real big.
Yeah, it's scary. Clarissa Shields is huge.
That's what's... And by the way, one thing about Triple G, if Triple G beats Jacobs, I think he goes to number 1 pound for pound. I think he overtakes Roman. because Roman's got a mandatory,
Yeah, but a mandatory from the nation. It's not. That's
Thai.
scary.
No, he's Thai.
That's still nation, man.
Knucklehead Thai, Knucklehead Nation.
Good to see them fighting again.
You listen to Loaded Gloves NYC, broadcasting from the Loaded Gloves studios in Lower Manhattan, baby. You can find us on Audio Boom. We're with Univision now. Check out the Univision page on Audio Boom. You'll see us there. Loaded Gloves, a beautiful picture of the Genie and El Gallo, yours truly. You can find us on Facebook, /The Loaded Gloves. Loaded Gloves NYC, broadcasting from the studios in Lower Manhattan. You can check us out on TuneIn Radio. Just type in Loaded Gloves, SoundCloud, Loaded Gloves. We are everywhere. And we're probably a lot of places we don't even know, to be honest.
I woke up this morning and we were all over some site I've never heard of before. That scares the hell out of me. It's those Russian hackers.
I wonder how many people...
I think TuneIn is pulling more people than everyone else, but it seems like iTunes is like blazing hot. Like,
we're on iTunes now, too.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden... I don't know. Just keep listening. Who cares? Come and ride the glove train.
Let's go, Triple G!
By the way, investors, did you shut us off already?
No.
By the way, investors or whoever, everybody keeps contacting us, we are not a glove warehouse, and we do not sell gloves, support the use of gloves, or in any way, some people can't even wear gloves. Their hands might be screwed up. But we keep getting contacted by international gloving companies to see if they want to do business with us. Loaded Gloves, if you really do the history of it, is not a glove. All right? We're not an international glove warehouse. So I just figured I had to say it because I've never said that, but we're getting every day now. I'm getting an email from a glove company. Some glove company in Japan. That Google Translate translated so bad it's almost enjoyable to read. Like, contact me with an 8-page email asking me if I'd like to do an international glove swap. So, we do not sell gloves. Maybe one day. Maybe autographed gloves. Do we have any?
No, we should do that, though.
We should
That's
sell
not a bad
some.
idea. Yeah, we should sell something.
Some
we should
shirts,
make something.
Shirts, gear, hats, coasters, mugs.
Autograph pictures.
We should sell stupid items.
You know what?
We need to have boxers autograph useless items, like a
That's
bath
funny.
towel. Like, here's a Joe Smith Jr. autograph, like, can of bleach.
Yes,
like,
stupid
just
stuff.
stupid
Sign
stuff.
anything.
Yeah. Like, just like, wow.
Like the glasses, like the lenses on the glasses.
I got an autographed bottle of Pellegrino water from Roman Gonzalez. Like, just stupid stuff. An empty coffee cup. Like, just...
You know what I want to do
it
for
would be
fans?
Popular. You have autographed baseballs from boxers.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing this for fans. If we ever do a live event again, or if we ever go wherever, I thought about giving fans like a baseball card or something, like a little, like they have the headshots they sign, but just of a rooster.
We should do Loaded Gloves baseball cards. That's a good idea.
A top 10.
We have me and you on the cards, plus the rest of our staff. So that's me and you on the cards, and our producer.
Or we should have
our absentee producer Zach. And then just like our favorite fighters.
It'd be like the Garbage Pail Kids cards. That's what ours would be more resembling.
And then the inserts, like the rare ones that people go for, would be our top 10. They'll be like laminated in blood. Like they'll be like.
I would love. I mean, listen. That's a great idea. I think we should have like the top 10 pack.
Hand them out at
Loaded Gloves top 10.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good idea.
With all the info on.
I'm brainstorming that later. Like that's
where they can find us. All that stuff. We'll put our Facebook. Our
That's
iTunes, our Univision, and then we can do like our top 10.
The wheels are turning because I have nothing to do later.
Turn. It is so cold in New York City, and we're supposed to get a 10 inches of snow on Tuesday.
2
or something.
feet.
2 feet.
2 feet. About the size of Omnot.
Oh my God! You're listening to Loaded Gloves. Oh my God! Let's go! Thank you, Knucklehead Nation. We love you to all our fans. Check us out everywhere. Just type in Loaded Gloves NYC, baby, into Google.
Or the browser of your preference. We don't want to piss off Internet Explorer and like Yahoo and those things.
AOL.
Baby.
All right, we're out. Later, Knucklehead Nation.
Mister, I have not begun to project my anger onto you.
And they called us scum-sucking pigs. Us. What should we do, El Guapo?
Tomorrow, I will take 50 men with me, find these 3 gringos, open their stomachs, grab their intestines, and squeeze the shit out of them.